All right, everyone, welcome back to the live stream. This is Decoding with Cody, and today is, what is it, Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. It's 9:11 p.m. where I'm at, and today is the unveiling. All right, so today is the 113th day of the year, and the word unveiling equals 113. So, what a perfect day for me to be talking about an unveiling on the 113th day of the year. And this is going to be a bit off the beaten path, this decode, but this is going to be a part two of the Pope's death. And a lot of other decoders have covered this. So here we go. We're gonna look at this at a completely different angle than most people are going to look at this. And it's all about the unveiling. So hello to everyone in the chat. This is the apocalypse. This is the unveiling, guys. Revelation simply means an unveiling, realizing something that you didn't know before, revealing something that is hidden. That is all that revelation means. It doesn't mean the end of the world necessarily. Apocalypse doesn't even mean the end of the world, really. It just means an unveiling. So we have to look at these words for what they really mean, okay? So an unveiling of something is different than an ending of something. Maybe it could be the unveiling of the end of the world. I don't know. But much love to all of you in the chat. Hello to Christy Cherry, Ethereal Expressions, Another Black Hawk Down, Gasunder Psychopath, Travis Ayers, Coffee Girl. Hello to everyone. Jesse's Girl. Much love to you all. And so as we go into this decode, I'm going to present things to you in this decode that are going to seem absolutely wild, but at the same time, they're going to make perfect sense. Okay, so hopefully I can get through all of this and reveal all of this and not forget to talk about stuff. But it's going to be hard for me to keep track of everything because there's so much that I want to talk about. And yeah, so we're going to talk about Revelation, the apocalypse, the unveiling. Okay, the Pope dying is clearly a riddle to the apocalypse. And again, apocalypse does not mean necessarily the end of the world. Okay. So let me start by reading the lyrics to the song called Ripple by the Grateful Dead. So I want you guys to think of the name of the band, right? The Grateful Dead, Happy Dead, called Ripple. This song came out on the Pope's birthday in 2020. 2020 vision, right? Seeing clearly. So this song, Ripple, came out on the Pope's birthday in 2020 and features a skeleton hand flipping over tarot cards called The World. All right. And this, again, came out on the Pope's 84th birthday, December 17th, 2020. So let me read one of the lyrics from this lyric right here. It says, "You who choose to lead must follow, but if you fall alone. If you should stand, then who's to guide you? If I knew the way, I would take you home." All right, so this is a clear reference, in my opinion, to the death of the Pope. And I'm going to show you how this song and how the new world currency is clearly connected. And so, yeah, the song didn't, the music video did. Yes, that's correct. The song did, but that's what I meant. The video is when the video on YouTube came out on the Pope's birthday. The original song was released in 1970 in Lunation 589, which is the gematria of Donald Trump, and it's the XRP number. And we're going to talk about XRP, the cryptocurrency, which this is all connected to. But there's going to be a ripple in time, guys, and the 404 is going to be the main number we're going to talk about here. And the front page of my decode right here has the 404 error page, okay? And this is the error page for Ripple, okay? So the same song that I just showed you on the Pope's birthday in 2020 was called Ripple. This error page, 404, with the bear coming out of the circle. This is the unveiling, guys, out of the circle. He's coming out into the open, revealing the secrets between the 44, okay? And then at the bottom of their page, they write, "You who choose to lead must follow, but if you fall alone, if you fall, you will fall alone." All right? So let's start off by connecting the Pope to the number 404, okay? And first of all, what is the significance of the number 404? It's not an arbitrary number. It's not just some random number that I'm just bringing together here. The number 404 is literally the amount of verses that are contained within the book of Revelation. And revelation means apocalypse or unveiling. All right? Just like the bear on the Ripple site is coming out of it's unveiling himself out of the circle in the center of the fours, okay? So because the Pope, all right, because the Pope died, okay, 4 months and 4 days after his birthday, okay, which is December 17th, which is the same day that the Ripple song was originally released on the video on YouTube. So anyway, Revelation has 404 verses, okay? And that's not arbitrary because the error code for the websites is 404, okay? Now, the Pope, his name, guys, in the most important cipher in Gematria, the Latin/Jewish cipher, Pope Francis equals 404, my friends. Like Revelation has 404 verses. Now, Pope Francis died on the founding date of Rome, on the anniversary of the founding date of Rome. Big shout out to Gematrinator85, who, if you guys want to go check out his post, he covers this right here. The Vatican, located inside the boundaries of Rome, the ancient Roman kingdom, was founded on April 21st, 753 BC. April 21st fell exactly 2777 years after the founding of Rome, guys. Guys, the 277 prime number is 404. So the Pope died on the 2777 anniversary of Rome being founded, which is the 404th prime number, which is the gematria of his name, which is the amount of verses in Revelation. Okay? So look at this. This is from last year. Rome celebrates its 2,777th birthday with historic festivities. Historical Group of Rome Nonprofit Cultural Association holds series of events to mark birthday of legendary city. On 4/21/2024, Rome celebrates its 2777 birthday. 2777 is the 404th prime, and exactly a year later, the Pope, the Bishop of Rome, dies on the same day, and his gematria is 404. This might be one of the most important numbers you could ever think of, guys. This is the amount of verses in Revelation. This is the number, man. Why do you think Pope Francis equals 404? Why do you think he died 2777 years after the founding of Rome? So it's just crazy because this cannot be a coincidence, guys. He's the Bishop of Rome. He dies on the 404 prime year anniversary of the Rome, and his name equals 404. Okay, so this is the main key of this decode. Okay, so we're going to take a bit of a detour for a second because just hours before, today is John Cena's birthday, guys. This is John Cena, JC. Look at how he has the door on his, this is his farewell tour. John Cena, the greatest champion in WWE history, he won his 17th and record-breaking world championship just hours before Pope Francis passed away, supposedly. And he's walking around, once again, saying the last time is now, the farewell tour, 2025, the last time is now, the farewell tour. Well, John Cena's birthday is today, just 3 days after the Pope died, and John Cena is born on the 113th day of the year, today. 113 is the gematria of unveiling. Okay? Unveiling equals 113. John Cena with the door. Okay? He's born on the 113th day of the year. And just hours before before Pope Francis died, he becomes the greatest champion of all time in WWE by winning his 17th world championship. Okay, so just bringing that up. Today is John Cena's birthday, the 113th day of the year. I want you guys to remember that. And 113 is also a lot of other things, but we're going to get into that. Just let me get to it. All right. Not only does Pope Francis equal 404, not only did he die on the 404th prime year anniversary of Rome being founded, he died 404 days after his 11th anniversary of being Pope. I mean, wow, guys. 3/13/2024 was his 11th anniversary of Pope. And look how many days he died after that. 404. Revelation. Pope Francis, 404. If you write his name, in the other language, guys, they call him Papa Francisco, which also equals 404. That's improbable. Okay? So 404 days after the Pope, after the Pope died, or 404 days after his 11th anniversary, he dies. His name equals 404. His alternate name, Papa Francisco, also equals 404. Okay? So again, this should be pretty clear. Raise your hand in the chats if this is not. Please hit the like. I don't know why this world does not wake up to these things. Like this, the whole world should be seeing this. This is not a coincidence. The Pope doesn't die on Rome's 404th prime year anniversary and equal 404 for just no random reason, okay? Because we are in the unveiling, okay? So, and Tobias Thorson, get out of my chat if you want to be saying, what am I yapping about? Dude, what else do I need to say to you? This is proof. The Rome dies on the anniversary of Rome being founded. The Pope, the Bishop of Rome, dies on the anniversary of Rome being founded. I mean, come on. Like, are you stupid? Like, what are you? Like, I'm sorry to get mad at you, but like, that's just how it is. If you're trying to be a troll, it's not going to work, because I know that this is not just some bullcrap. And people in the chat that are smart know that this is not bullcrap. I don't want to add you on my Discord. Who are you even? I don't even know who you are. So I don't want to turn you over. I mean, I think I'm showing you right now why you should say, oh, maybe this is interesting that he died on the 404th he died. I don't know. Anyways, he died 404 days after his 11th anniversary of being Pope. Okay. So there's two things. There's two things. Not only does his name equal 404, he dies in perfect synchronization with the 404 in two different ways. Okay. Now we need to take a little detour again, because we need to talk about the Pope's connection between Michael Jordan. Okay, this is going to seem strange to just go off into, but the reason we're going to talk about Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan is because we need to talk about apocalypsis. We need to talk about revelation, unveiling, and disclosure. The number 113 is the number of dishonesty and also the number of unveiling. Okay. So you're unveiling the secrets or you're keeping the secrets. Either way, the number 113, which is today's day of the year, is connected to unveilings and secrecy. All right. So unveiling equals 113. This is in the basic simple cipher of gematria. Okay. Apocalypse equals 113. Again, apocalypse is literally the word for unveiling. So both of these words equal 113, my friends. Apocalypse and unveiling, they mean the same thing. And they both equal 113. Now, the two famous basketball players we're going to talk about here that connect to this are Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. They both have gematria of 113, okay? And the meat of this decode, we're going to get in there. So now we're going to talk about Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and their connection to Pope Francis, okay? And again, keep the 404s in mind. We're going to come back. We're going to come back to the 404s. I see Widow's son is in here. Much love to my brother. But yeah, Pope Francis dies on the 2777 year anniversary of Rome being founded, the 404th prime. Pope Francis equals 404. He dies 404 days after his 11th anniversary as Pope. Papa Francisco 404. So keep the 404s in mind, right? But we need to take a detour. And we need to talk about Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Apocalypse, okay? And here's why. Because the gematria points us to these two characters. All right. So Pope Francis was born December 17, 1936. Michael Jordan, who equals apocalypse, he was born 26 years and 62 days, or exactly 314 months after Pope Francis on 2/17. Oh, I had the wrong date there. Let me fix this. Okay, there, I fixed it. So Michael Jordan was born 26 years and 62 days after Pope Francis. The reason this is important is because in gematria, papacy, which is what the Pope was in, equals queen equals Jordan, okay? What are the chances that Jordan... Tobias, you're not muted. I can see you in the chat. I don't know who you are. I've never even seen you in the chat. I don't know why you're causing issues. I love you, man, whoever you are. I'm just saying, I don't know why you're in here. I've never even seen you. I don't even know you. And you don't know me. So I don't know why you got some sort of weird thing against me today. I don't know what's up. But anyway. Papacy equals 6226. Queen. Okay. Pope Francis died on the Queen's birthday. Queen equals 62 and 26, like papacy. Jordan equals 62 and 26. Pope Francis was born 26 years and 62 days before Michael Jordan. When the Pope turned 88 years old this year on Pi Day 314, kind of like Michael Jordan was born 314 months after the Pope, Michael Jordan was 62 years and 26 days old on the blood moon. Okay, do you see how improbable that is? How improbable it is that that Jordan equals 62 and 26 like papacy, and he's born 26 years and 62 days after the Pope, and then when the Pope turned 88 years and 88 days old, Michael Jordan turned 62 years and 26 days old, okay? On top of that, from the day that Michael Jordan was born to the last day the Pope was alive, supposedly, he was 62 years and 62 days old on the Pope's last day alive. And this was the first day of the sign of Taurus, the bull. Taurus equals 62, guys, like Queen, like Jordan, like papacy. All right. And he died on the Queen's birthday. Again, Queen equals papacy equals Jordan. Now, Kobe Bryant, who is connected to Michael Jordan, right? Kobe Bryant was inspired by Michael Jordan. A lot of comparisons between the two. Kobe Bryant equals Michael Jordan, right? Well, Bryant equals Jordan, 26, like Jordan, like Queen, like papacy. From the day that Kobe Bryant died to the day the Pope died, 62 months and 26 days. I mean, come on now. The gematria points you. Unveiled equals 404. Thank you for. Oh, does it really equal 4 and 4? 404? And what cipher? Oh, unveiled equals 404 and satanic. I see. Okay, that's interesting. Well, we're gonna get back to the 404s, but that's another good addition. All right, so Jordan and Kobe both connect to the Pope and his death with the 6226. And why do you think crypto? Okay, when a stock market or a crypto market goes up, they call it a bull run. Michael Jordan played for the Bulls, guys. Taurus, the bull. Pope Francis died on the first day of Taurus, the bull, and the Queen's birthday. And Michael Jordan was 62 years and 62 days old on the first day of Taurus, which equals 62, like Jordan. I mean, wow. And crypto bull run equals 62. And when crypto or a market is going up, they call it a bull run. What happened immediately after we started the Taurus and Pope Francis died? We had crypto going up. You guys want me to show you to the exact hour? Let me show you. Let me show you to the exact hour of when crypto started just going up out of nowhere. So here's Bitcoin. Let me put this on the hourly chart. Let's find where Bitcoin's bull run started. I bet it's on the beginning of Taurus. Right here. You see how it went sideways for so long? Right here. Right here, April 20th, Sunday, the beginning of Taurus. Look what happened to Bitcoin. It just goes up. I mean, bam. You see this? Beginning of Taurus, the death of the Pope, and it just goes up. So that's just an addition because we're going to talk about a cryptocurrency called XRP. That's what this is all going to tie into. Yeah, the word crown equals 62 and 26 as well. And that, yeah, I forgot about that too. Crown equals 6226. Like queen. So just more 6226. All right, so now that we've established all these connections between Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, the 6226, the bull run, the crypto, the new currency, guys, this is the unveiling of the new world order, the new financial system. That's what I'm getting to with this decode, okay? The new financial system is being prepared before our eyes. And that's what this is all connected to. The Pope dying is remember, the Jesuits were bankers. Yeah, but Tobias, Taurus is the day. God, I mean, Tobias, the day that Michael Jordan was 62 years and 62 days old was the first day of the sign of Taurus, not the bull. Taurus is the bull. But Taurus equals 62 like Jordan, like Queen, like papacy. Okay? He was 62 years, 62 days old on the beginning of Taurus, the bull. I don't know why it's so hard to, I don't know. Anyway, so again, look at the gematria of unveiling apocalypse. Now we need to go to the Strong's Biblical Concordance to see what apocalypse is. 602. Guys, this is like 62. What's the number I was just talking about? 62, right? The biblical lexicon Strong's Concordance for apocalypse is 602, like 62. And again, that means unveiling or apocalypse. The original word is apocalypse, which equals 113, like unveiling, like Kobe Bryant, like Michael Jordan. Okay. And this, again, I told you the Pope died 404 days after his 11th anniversary, 404 verses in Revelation. He died on the 404th prime year since the founding of Rome. Okay. But now look at this. He died 4,423 days after he became Pope. That's the 602nd prime number, which is again pointing us back to the same thing, guys. So whether you're looking at it from the 404 in Revelation, or you're looking at the Strong's Concordance, Apocalypse 602, okay? So 602 is the amount of days, prime days, from his becoming Pope to the day he dies. And in the prime cipher, which is interesting because we're talking about the 602 prime, in the prime cipher, Jorge Mario Bergoglio equals 602. That's his full name. I mean, wow. Like, again, what I'm showing you here is absolutely one of the most obvious things in the world, man. Like, yeah, I don't know. Anyways. Okay, so we're going to get back to this, but now we're going to talk about how this all comes together with cryptocurrency, new world currency, the Grateful Dead, and Ripple. All right, so remember, I told you if you go back to Pope Francis' birthday in 2020, there was a music video released by the Grateful Dead called Ripple. And this shows tarot cards, and it shows the fool's journey through the tarot deck. Okay, so obviously a very occult video. I mean, come on. I mean, just going through, you guys can see how occult this video is. So much symbolism, so much to decode in this video. I mean, I've showed this on the channel before. Okay? But this song ends with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay? And this song is called Ripple. So let's just go. So because that came out on the Pope's 84th birthday, this video, okay? The world isn't, I'm not saying the world is necessarily ending. I'm just saying this is an unveiling. Apocalypse does not mean an end to the world. It means an unveiling, okay? So it seems like I got some trolling in my chat today, to be honest. There's a few people in here that I've never seen before that are just posting a bunch of spam in the chat. So I don't know what's going on, but some people talking about uncanny deduction. I think we got some uncanny deduction people in here today, don't we? But anyway, so Ripple XRP and Ripple the Grateful Dead song, okay? No, Sojourn, just leave them in here for now. I don't know if they're trolls or not, but it just seems like they're being very trolly today. So again, this song was released on the Pope's 84th birthday. And it shows the lyrics to this song. Okay, so this right here is a screenshot of the Ripple XRP error page. So whenever you get an error on their website, you go to this, right? The 404 error code. Okay, but look at the lyrics that are below this error page on Ripple's site. It says, "You who choose to lead must follow, but if you fall alone." This is literally the lyrics to the Ripple song. Okay, this 404 page literally uses the lyrics from this song that was released on the Pope's 84th birthday. So if you guys think I'm crazy for making this connection, I'm absolutely not. Because this song, this error page literally points us to this song, which points us to the Pope's birthday, which points us to the 404, which is the gematria of Pope Francis. Okay? Now, Big shout out to my girlfriend for finding this earlier. That really got me started on this. But look at this. Guys, Ripple XRP, where you get this page at, the 404 error page that points us to the Ripple song on the Pope's birthday. It was created on 602. Why is that important? Because we just talked about that 602 is apocalypse. And the Pope died 602 prime days after his birth, after he became Pope. So Ripple was created on 602, and 40 weeks and 4 days later, the Pope became the Pope or the Bishop of Rome. Now let's go to the one cipher that we need here. And what is the dang gematria of all of these things, guys? Let's just go through it. We have 602 being the apocalypse. We have the 404 being the verses in Revelation, the apocalypse. And look at the gematria of Bishop of Rome. It equals 440, like St. Peter, and St. Peter is like St. Peter's Basilica. Antichrist and XRP all equal 440 in gematria. In the same cipher that Pope Francis equals 404. Again, this is all about the 44. So what are the chances that XRP was created on 602, which is apocalypse in the Strongs, and 40 weeks and 4 days, Pope Francis became the Pope and the Bishop of Rome, which equals 440, like XRP. And Pope Francis equals 404. Now, there is a Riddlers in the XRP community on Twitter. This post by the Riddlers was posted on November 16, 2020. And what does it say, guys? Look at this. 4 days after the death of my hero, JB, is the last chance to buy. Guys, this is a Riddler connected to XRP, Ripple. And he says 4 days after my hero, JB. Who's JB, guys? JB is the name of Jorge Bergoglio, the Pope. JB is Jorge Bergoglio. That's his real name, Jorge Bergoglio. JB. And so 4 days after JB dies is your last chance to buy. And guys, look at the gematria of JB and buy. It equals 602, which is the founding date of XRP, June 2nd, 602, and the amount, and it's the apocalypse in Revelation, which is exactly how many verses. He died 602 prime days after he became Pope. And now there's a post that says 4 days after the death of my hero JB, which equals 602, is your last chance to buy, which equals 602. And look at this. Ripple error page equals 602, like buy, like JB. And Ripple was founded on 602, 40 weeks and 4 days before he became Pope. And he equals 404. This is absolutely astronomically crazy. Raise your hand in the chat if you guys think this is crazy. Like, this is we're using a cipher. We're using a cipher here that's not easy to get matches on, guys. It's not easy to get matches in the Latin cipher. This cipher is not like the ordinal ciphers. This is not a cipher where you get matches. What are the chances that Ripple error page equals buy and equals JB? And this is the number that we're connecting to the apocalypse or the unveiling. Okay? It's just like, what is going on here? This is not the decode I expected to be doing about the Pope. I never expected this was going to be so connected. Okay? And remember, he died 404 days after his 11th anniversary as Pope. He died on the 404-year prime anniversary of the founding of Rome. And he became Pope 40 weeks and 4 days after XRP was created, Ripple. And the Ripple song came out on his birthday. And the Ripple page points us to this song, which came out on his birthday, and this page points us to the 602 and the 404. Like, it's astronomically crazy. And on top of that, so the Ripple Grateful Dead song Ripple was released on his birthday in 2020. Exactly 4 years later was the 4th anniversary, of course, of the song on his birthday. He died 4 months, 0 weeks, and 4 days after the 4th anniversary of the Ripple song on his birthday. What? He died 4 months, 0 days, and 4 weeks after the 4th anniversary of the Ripple song on his birthday, when Ripple was created 40 weeks and 4 days before he became Pope. And again, his gematria, Pope Francis equals 404. Okay? I mean, this is just like crazy. Now, this is where it gets absolutely crazy, because remember, I told you the XRP community on Twitter is all about these very secretive pages, these informants, these CIA agents. And one of these guys is called XRP Veil. Guys, I'm talking about Unveiling, and the guy literally calls himself XRP Veil. And look at what he writes here. New system is coming. Old system is leaving. Look at his gematria of his username, guys. Veil Lord X equals unveiling in 3 out of 4 ciphers equals apocalypse in 2 ciphers. Wow. And guys, look who follows XRP Veil on Twitter. John Cena. John Cena, the guy who just won, who's born on the 113th day of the year, who holds up the last time is now. John Cena just became the champion right before the Pope died. John Cena equals Francis equals Vatican. The guy XRP Veil, the Riddler, or the guy who supports XRP, who's obviously an agent, his username equals unveiling. And it equals 113, like John Cena, like today is John Cena's birthday, the 113th day of the year. And John Cena follows this guy, man. This guy's not even a big page. He only has 21.88K followers. But for some reason, Cena is following this random page called XRP Veil. Oh, you think they're not maybe telling us that John Cena knows what XRP is about ready to become? Do you think that John Cena didn't just win the title for no reason right before XRP is about ready to get clarity from the SEC? Do you think that it's all a coincidence, considering that the Pope just died and he died completely connected to the apocalypse and the Bible, which is 602? This is crazy. I'm doing decoding. I'm not just decoding big things. I'm decoding some Twitter handle who somehow connects to all this. So the unveiling is coming, guys. The new system. Look what he writes. The new system is coming. The old system is leaving. John Cena has said this about his farewell tour. He says, "After this, you will not see me." All right. So John Cena says, "After this, you won't see me." And he has 27 appearances left before he retires and walks away as the 1-2 champion. And he says he's going to reset the WWE. You guys understand what he's saying? Why do you think he's walking around saying the last time is now, which connects to Revelation, the unveiling, the apocalypse? And he says that he's going to leave WWE as the last true champion, and he's going to leave the people behind to fix the system when he's gone. He's going to leave everyone behind as the last true champion. They're telling us, guys, his farewell tour ends in December. That's what he's telling us. He has 27. Let me see if I can find a picture of this. John Cena, 27 appearances left. Right here, guys. John Cena, he told us on Raw the other night, this is how many dates he has left to appear. He has 27 appearances left before the farewell tour ends. All right? So on John Cena's birthday today, we are talking about the unveiling, which is exactly what he's talking about. He's walking away as the true champion. All right? And this all connects, again, why does John Cena follow XRP Veil? John Cena follows XRP Veil, guys, and Veil Lord X equals unveiling. I mean, come on now. And John Cena's born on the 113th day of the year, the gematria of unveiling. And this all connects back again to the Pope being connected to. Why do you think crypto started going up at the beginning of Taurus, right when the Pope died, man? Because it's a bull run. That's what they call it in markets, a bull run. Okay, the Taurus, the bull. So 404 verses in Revelation. And again, somebody reminded us that in gematria, unveiled equals 4 and 4, 404. Right here. In reverse satanic gematria, unveiled equals 404. Okay, so now remember, there is a movie called Sneakers. Let me show you this, guys. Sneakers means secret, right? (1992) movie called Sneakers came out on 9/11, 1992. It says they hack into the Federal Reserve in 1992 in this movie, and it says code LIN, International Tel-Link Access, code XRP262. Can you guys see that? Let me know if you guys can see that. They hack into the Federal Reserve and they see XRP262. Guys, what did I just talk about? What was this whole slide about? It was about the numbers 62 and 26. What does XRP cryptocurrency equal in gematria? XRP cryptocurrency equals 262 in gematria. In the movie Sneakers, it says XRP with the number 262 next to it. This was years ago, guys. This was in 1992, man. XRP wasn't created until 2012. Now, why is that important? Because the Pope died on the Queen of England's birthday. Well, what does that equal? Queen of the United Kingdom equals 262. All right, look at that. Queen of the United Kingdom, she was buried on the 262 day of the year. And XRP cryptocurrency equals 262, like Queen of the United Kingdom. And in the movie Sneakers, it says XRP 262. I don't know if you guys can see it well. It's hard to see, but let me see if I can make it bigger. Right here it is. The Federal Reserve International Tel-Link XRP 262. I mean, what are the absolute odds of that? Okay. Now, what is Sneakers all about? It's about too many secrets. That's what they say in the movie. Before they discover XRP 262 in the Federal Reserve, they say too many secrets. All right. So just crazy. Now, how many days do you think the Pope died after the movie Sneakers came out? Let's look. The Sneakers came out on 9/11, 1992. And the Pope died on 421. The Pope died on 421, 2025. Look how many days after the movie Sneakers came out with XRP 262 in it on 9/11, 1992 to the Pope's death is 9/11 forwards and backwards. Look at that. 9/11 forward and backwards from Sneakers movie to the Pope's death. And that's exactly 53 Venus years. So Venus involved in this. Venus is it's in the 404th lunar phase. Look at that. It's been 404 because once you start your 403rd lunar phase, it means you're in your 404th lunar phase. So from the day that Sneakers came out on 9/11, 1992 to the death of the Pope, 404 lunar phases. Or it's in its 404th lunar phase. It's completing its 404 lunar phases. Somebody's saying, what about the new animated Sneakers movie? I don't know. I didn't know there was a new movie called that, but I'll have to look into that. So, guys, what I've presented in this decode is absolutely mind-boggling, and I don't see how anyone can say anything else. I mean, I've shown you just how many numbers have I talked about in this decode? Only like 4 different numbers. The 404, the 113, and the 602. And all of them connect to unveiling and revelation, okay? Again, that's not a coincidence that Ripple was created on 602, 40 weeks and 4 days before the Pope became Pope. And the tweet from the Riddler says, 4 days after the death of my hero, JB, Jorge Bergoglio, is the last chance to buy. And JB equals buy. And equals Ripple error page, which has the 404 on it, which is what we get from the song Ripple, released on the Pope's birthday, which was 4 years exactly before it was 4 years to his birthday last year, and then it was 4 months, 0 weeks, and 4 days till he died. And then again, we got John Cena winning. He's born on the 113th day of the year, unveiling, and the guy he follows on Twitter is XRP Veil, which equals 113, his username, and he's followed by John Cena. I mean, what are the odds? And so let me go through my notes here. There's more I want to talk about. So again, you have, okay, let's talk about Romulus and Remus for a minute. Let's talk about this. Let me find my slide here. Okay, so some new things that I found. Some new things that I found since the last decode. So remember, the Pope died on the anniversary of Rome being founded, right? Well, Rome being founded was all dedicated to Romulus and Remus. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Romulus and Remus equals the death of Pope Francis. And why am I typing that? Because CNN used the phrase live updates on the death of Pope Francis. The phrase, the death of Pope Francis equals 214. He died on 21/4. This is the same gematria as gematria, the killing name, which equals 214. Remember, the Pope went into the hospital on Valentine's Day, 214. St. Valentine's Day equals 214. Remember, Slipknot, who did the song Gematria, the Killing Name, said this: we will not play the song Gematria, the Killing Name unless the Pope ends up opening up for us someday. And then 666 days after he said this, they played the song live on the 59th day of the year when Pope Francis equals 59, and 52 days later he dies on 21/4, and Pope equals 52, and the death of Pope Francis equals 214, like Gematria, the Killing Name. And he died on the anniversary of Romulus and Remus founding Rome. Romulus and Remus, 214. Gematria, the killing name, 214. The death of Pope Francis, 214. I mean, what? It's just, I mean, what do you guys think? Did you guys remember how last decode I didn't even know that the phrase "the death of Pope Francis" equaled 214? I didn't even know that. None of us even knew that, but I was still making the connection to the 214. But this is literally what CNN wrote here. Live updates on the death of Pope Francis, 214. And this guy who plays Gematria, the killing name, he literally said they will not play the song unless the Pope opens up for them. Okay? So this is wild. I mean, and yeah, somebody's reminding me in the chat, Church of Satan equals 214. And when John Cena won his title, it was with the help of Travis Scott. And Travis Scott is born on the Church of Satan's birthday. Travis Scott, born April 30th. And this connects us right back to XRP in San Francisco. The Grateful Dead are based out of San Francisco. We're talking about Pope Francis or Papa Francisco. The Church of Satan, let me just show you. Church of Satan equals 214. Okay, like the death of Pope Francis. Travis Scott was with John Cena one night before the Pope died. Travis Scott is born on the anniversary of the founding of the Church of Satan. Remember, Travis Scott did the Astro World where he said, see you on the other side, like going through a portal, right? Unveiling. On the other side of the new system, right? So Travis Scott, born on the founding of Church of Satan equals 214. Okay? Just like, all the other 214s that I just showed you here, right? And this is Valentine's Day, which connects back to the heart, and that's when Pope Francis went into the hospital on Valentine's Day. Gematria, the killing name, was released on YouTube in 2014, 214. But yeah, that's definitely like a huge part of this. The 214 cannot be overlooked. And the Church of Satan being 214 as well cannot be overlooked. And just to go back over to Gematrinator's thing. Okay, so when John Cena won the title the night before the Pope died, he passed Ric Flair, who on the day of the blood moon was 27777 days old. Well, that kind of reminds you of the number 2777, which is the 404th prime, and there's 400 verses in Revelation, right? Well, the Pope died 4 months and 4 days after his birthday, right? And remember the eclipse in 2020, the eclipse in 2020 was just a couple days before the Ripple song released. Okay, so the Ripple song released on the Pope's birthday in 2020. 3 days before that, 3 days before that, we had the, let me find it again. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, 3 days before that. Let me just go there. So 2020. 1214 was the eclipse, guys. Now, what's this number? What's the numbers in this number? 1214. It's 1, 2, 14. Just like I was just talking about the 214s, right? Well, that was an eclipse. December 14th, 2020 was the eclipse when they unveiled the V word, guys. They first used the V word on this day. And how many weeks after the Pope became Pope was that? It was 404 weeks, guys. The eclipse, when they first unveiled the V words, was literally 404 weeks after he became Pope. And then he would go on to die 4 years and 4 months later. All right. And the word kill equals 44. And again, Pope Francis 404, Bishop of Rome 440, Papa Francisco 404. He died 4 months and 4 days after his birthday. He also died 4 months, 0 weeks, and 4 days after his birthday, and that was the 4-year anniversary of the Ripple song, which was 4 days after the eclipse. That was 404 weeks after he became Pope. I mean, it's just wild, guys. The whole thing is about the 404. It's all about the 404. Okay? And John Cena, the day the Pope died, John Cena passed Ric Flair, who on the day of the blood moon was 27777 days old, which is kind of like the number 2777, which is the 404th prime. But look at Ric Flair, guys. The nature boy, Ric Flair, equals 440. Richard Morgan Flair equals 404. And he's known as the nature boy, which in Fibonacci equals 440. So all this stuff is connected with this number, man. And then there's a whole connection with, Roman Reigns. I'm not going to get into that here, but the point is, big shout out to Germatrinator and his work. Make sure you guys go check out his video. He covered a lot of different angles. But yeah, also, guys, he died of a stroke, and he died at 88 of a stroke, and stroke equals 88. Stroke equals 88. Like, he died at 88, and stroke equals Pope in the same cipher. So yeah, there's that. And then what else did I want to talk about here? I kind of want to talk a little bit about the new so remember I mentioned there's a huge connection between Michael Jordan and Pope Francis, right? Pope Francis born 26 years and 62 days before Jordan. Jordan equals 6226. Well, the guy who could possibly be taking over for Pope Francis is Luis Antonio Goicum Tegel. And he just happens to be born 2,067 days before Michael Jordan. Well, the reason that's interesting is because if he was to become the next pope, he would be the 267th pope. So considering I made all these connections to Michael Jordan and Pope Francis, and now the guy who could possibly be the next pope will be born 2,067 days before Michael Jordan, that's interesting, okay? Now, there's another guy I want to talk about who could possibly be. Oh, here's another interesting one from the movie called The Pope Must Diet to the Death of the Pope was 12287 days. What's very interesting about this is Pope Francis equals 122, San Francisco equals 122, San Francisco's on the 122nd meridian. Satanic equals 122. The Satanic Church is founded in San Francisco. So the fact that the Pope died 12287 days after this movie, and look at this, the Bowman. This makes sense now, guys. Look, this movie has the bows, and the last person to see the Pope alive was Donald Bowman. That's J.D. Vance. Let me just show you that. So J.D. Vance, his real name is James Donald Bowman. Like a bowman, right? And look at this movie called The Pope Must Diet. It has bowmen trying to assassinate the Pope with bows. Okay? But anyway, if you go from the movie release to the death of the Pope, it's 12287. Well, that's in octal counting. If you transition the number 12287 in base 8, it's 27777. And I just talked about that number because Ric Flair, who John Cena just passed, he was 27777 days old on the blood moon. And from the Pope Must Diet to Pope Francis dying, it's in octal, it's 27777, the same number. So that's interesting. And this guy, Robbie Coltrane, he actually played in Harry Potter. And he died. Let me look up him. Robbie Coltrane, he played the Pope in The Pope Must Diet, okay? And he died October 14th, 2022. So from the death of Robbie Coltrane, who played the Pope, to the death of the Pope is pi. If you measure in moon phases, it's 31 lunar phases in 4 days, like pi. On top of that, it was, what was it? Oh, yeah, it was 2 years. So from the death of the guy who plays the Pope in the Pope Must Diet, this guy, from his death to the death of Pope Francis, 2 years, 6 months, 7 days. Why is that important? Well, because Pope Francis died, and the next Pope is going to be the 267th Pope. Okay? Now, this also connects with the movie The Two Popes. So you have this movie called The Pope Must Diet, right? It came out August 31st. Let me just type it in. The Pope Must Diet. It came out August 31st, 1991, right? August 31st. Well, August 31st is a huge day for popes because the 33-day Pope, whoops, I typed that wrong. 33-day Pope. So Pope John Paul I was the 33-day Pope. He was in office for 33 days. Now, there was a movie about, or wait, what was it? Yeah, Pope Francis actually confirmed his heroic virtue on 8 November 2017. But yeah, this was the 33-day Pope. But actually, I want to talk about the movie The Two Popes. So this movie is about Jorge Mario Bergoglio, Pope Francis, played by Jonathan Pryce, who looks exactly like Pope Francis, by the way. He plays Jorge Mario Bergoglio, and Anthony Hopkins plays Pope Benedict, who died before in 2022. Okay, but these two, the film premiered on August 31st, guys. This is the same release date of the movie called The Pope Must Diet. Whoops, I messed up there. Hold on. So The Two Popes came out on August 31st, and the movie called The Pope Must Diet also came out on August 31st. So these are two movies about the Pope. And look at the synopsis of this movie, The Pope Must Diet. Look at what this is about, man. The death of the previous pope is followed by a conclave deadlocked for 25 years. I mean, come on, you cannot tell me they don't use gematria, guys. They're saying that this movie is about popes who are deadlocked for 25 years. What does pope equal in gematria? 25. We're in the year 2025, and now the Pope dies in 2025. And this movie is about two popes that are deadlocked for 25 years. They're deadlocked for 25 years until the mafia. So now we're talking about the mafia guys, hitmen. And J.D. Vance is kind of being looked at as like kind of being shady kind of hitman, right? And Donald Trump, like the Don, like the mafia. You guys get it? So until the mafia's Cardinal Rocco persuades the College of Cardinals to elect in absentia the mafia's favored candidate, Albini. So This movie is literally about the Pope dying, and then the mafia leader is trying to be elected as the Pope, the mafia. Okay. But instead of the mafia leader, uh, the guy gets it mixed up, and he accidentally selects Cardinal Albanese, played by Dave Albanese, and that's the guy who plays. That's the guy Robbie Coltrane, who plays the Pope, and he died 2 years, 6 months, and 7 days before Pope Francis. So the last day that Pope Francis was alive as the 266th Pope, you guys get this? The last day that Pope Francis was alive as the 266th Pope, this guy, Robbie Coltrane, had died 2 years, 6 months, and 6 days before Pope Francis' last day alive. 266. How perfect is that? And this is just another connection with the 6226s, all the 6 and 2s I was showing you earlier. And in fact, look, it was 2 years, 6 months, and 6 days, but it was also 22 years, 26 weeks, and 6 days. Okay, so like that's crazy. I mean, we're talking about the guy who played the Pope in The Pope Must Diet. So all by the numbers, 266 right after this guy dies. And don't forget the Jesuit motto equals 266, and Pope Francis the 266 Pope, and big number with Pope Francis and the Jesuits. Okay, but there's another guy I need to look at here. A few more candidates. The top candidate who they think is going to be the next Pope is Pietro Parolin, the PP, guys. The PP is going to be the next Pope. Okay, so you know what's funny about this name? PP, it could be the next Pope, right? And there's 2 P's in a Pope, right? 2 P's in a pod, right? So 2 P's in Pope, and the next Pope could be PP. And yeah, so Pope PP could be the PP, the Pope. Lots of P's, right? But yeah, I mean, so let's see how many days this guy was born after Pope Francis. Look at this. So Pope Francis born in 1936 on December 17th. If you measure to the birthday of Pietro Parolin, January 17th, 1955. Well, would you look at that, guys? The guy that could be the next Pope was born 666 after. He was born 666 after Pope Francis. There you go. So he could possibly be it, guys. He could be. I'm not saying he will be. Yeah, Joseph. I mentioned that in my last live stream that Pietro Parolin was 3,666 weeks old when Pope died. On top of that, look at the amount of years he was born after the Pope Francis. 18 years and 32 days, guys. When was the founding date of Year of Skull and Bones? 1832. Pietro Parolin, born 18 years and 32 days after Pope Francis. Skull and Bones year. And the 666. So, I mean, this is the guy in the front running. The other guy I talked about, Tegel, is the second guy. And then there's this theory that there's going to be a black Pope. So let's look at him real fast. Let's look at all these candidates. I don't think this guy's going to get it. He doesn't have very good odds. Peter, what was his name? Peter Turkson. So if they're going to go with the narrative of the first black Pope, this guy has a chance, and his name is Peter Turkson. But again, he doesn't have a very good chance. He was appointed on April 4th, like 4/4, so that's another 44. That this has to connect to Obama, this guy. If this guy becomes pope, it's going to connect to Obama. But Peter Turkson, he's born in 1948, okay? So he's born the same year Israel was founded. So what do you think Peter and Turkson equal? So let me just show you this. Look at Peter Turkson, guys. 56, like Society of Jesus. And he's got that 70, like Francis equals 70, like Vatican equals 70. Pietro Parolin, the other candidate, he's currently 70 years old right now. So you get a 70-year-old who's going to take over in the Vatican, and Vatican equals 70. But yeah, even this Peter Turkson equals 70. But he also equals 56, like Society of Jesus. But look at the word Peter. Peter equals Israel. You see this? And the reason I'm bringing that up is because Peter equals Israel. Well, Peter Turkson was born in 1948 when the year Israel was founded. So if you go from Israel to the birthday of Peter, when was his birthday again? October 11th. I mean, this is what's interesting to me about this guy. If you go from Peter Turkson's birth to from Israel's founding to Peter Turkson's birth, it's 151 days. Guys, that's the Jesus Christ number, but it's also 21 weeks and 4 days. That's the death date of the Pope, Pope Francis. So Peter Turkson, between Israel's founding and Peter Turkson, 21/4, right? This is a huge number with this ritual that we just had. Also, again, Peter equals Israel, and Turkson also equals Israel. So his first and last name equals Israel. Like papacy equals 28 too. But the main point is here, Peter and Turkson equals 28 like Israel. So that there you do have this connection with him and Israel, that's for sure. But that doesn't mean that he'll be the next pope. I mean, Pietro Parolin has a lot. I mean, he's born 666 days after Pope Francis. So, I mean, he was appointed on October 15, 2013. Let me see when oh. Guys, look at that. Look at that. So from the appointment of Peter, or no, from the appointment of Pietro Parolin, his appointment, to the death of Pope Francis, 601 weeks. Well, that means he was starting his 602 weeks, guys. What is my number that I talk about in this whole decode? What number was it, guys? The Pope died 602 prime days after he became Pope, and 602, the start of the 602nd week after Pietro Parolin was put in the office he's currently in. So there you go. We got the 602 again. That means that Pietro Parolin will turn 602 weeks on 4/28. So I wonder if we get some news on this day about Pietro Parolin with the 602 being connected with all this. Actually, it could be the 28th or the 29th, would be 602 weeks after he was appointed, October 15th, 2013. So that is super interesting. We got right back. Joseph says Pope was dead 26 weeks and 6 days from the anniversary of that date. Oh, you mean in that year? Oh, okay, hold on. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So yeah, it was 11 years, 266 or 267. Well, yeah, 266. So yeah, I see. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, guys, I don't know if they're going to surprise us with this one. I think Pietro Parolin has a pretty good case. And look, he has the pi in his name, guys. Oh, I get it now. He has pi in his name. This is probably it, guys. We just had the pi eclipse. The Pope died 38 days after the pi eclipse. And now the guy who's replacing him is pi. Pi. I didn't even notice that until now. He literally has the pi in his name, man. Wow. And this probably connects to the life of Pi, which came out. The Life of Pi, which is about a guy named Pi Patel, also known as Pi Singh Molitor. And remember, this book came out on 9/11/2001, the exact day of 9/11. And so now we could have a pi, a pi riddle. Wait, how old was Pietro Parolin on the pi eclipse? Hold on. Oh, I see. Interesting. Wow. All right. I like that. 5953, guys. That's the 32nd star number. Wow, that is the serious stuff I was always talking about. Sean, are you still in here? Wow, the 32nd star, if you go in weeks, 5953 weeks, which is the 32nd star number. This is a huge connection to Roman reigns. I'm not going to get into that here, but this is huge right here. Also, look at this. From the day that he took office to the Pi Day eclipse was 137 months, the 33rd prime. Also 11 years, 21 weeks, and 4 days. That's the death date of the Pope. Yeah, man, this is looking real good for Pietro Parolin. Yeah, but Sean, remember when I did a decode about Roman reigns? And Roman Reigns was born 5953 days before 9/11, the 32nd star. And now Pietro Pi is born 5953 days before the Pi eclipse. I mean, wow. Or no, he took office 595 weeks, 3 days, which is the 32nd star. Okay. Remember, the Jesuit logo has 32 rays on it. Okay. And let's see how old he was on this day. He's also born in 55, guys, which is Satan, God, 55, Satan, 55. He also has Michelle Obama's birthday. Oh, look at this. All right, so he was 70 years old and 56 days on the Pi eclipse. So how perfect. Pope Francis equals 70. That's interesting. There might be something more there. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people are going to try to go for like the very low odd popes that are, let's just look on Polymarket, next pope. Who will be the next pope? The odds on Polymarket. I mean, this Luis Tagle guy is catching up a bit. This Filipino, I'm telling you, this Filipino has some good numbers. But Pietro Parolin is still at 30% odds, but Luis Antonio Tagle is at 21. But I think people are really pushing for this Antonio guy. But the guy I talked about before, the black one, man, where's he even at now? Peter Turkson's only at 8% odds. According to this, this may not mean anything. But yeah, I mean, Pietro Parolin is currently at 30% odds, so it's hard to go against that if this is going to be anywhere near accurate. But why are they having so many Peters, guys? Pietro means Peter. Peter Erdo is also in there. Peter Turkson, Pierre, Pierre Batista. You got so many Pierres, right? Well, that's because Peter was the first pope, and the theory is that the last pope will be called Peter as well. So Pietro is also a form of Peter. So that's why I'm saying the PP could very well be. I mean, think about it. He's known as the father of the church, and his names could be PP, and the Pope with the name with two P's in it, two P's in a pod. I bet you there's something with that. His name is Pietro. Two P's in a pod. Let's. I just think that's a funny saying. I want to see. Let me see if two P's in a pod has some sort of gematria riddle here. Hold on. Oh, wow. Look. Two P's in a pod equals Pope Francis in one cipher, at least. I mean, that doesn't really mean anything, guys. It's just, I just think it's funny. Two P's in a pod. You know what's interesting about that phrase, too? It also equals the founder of XRP, David Swords. I mean, I'm just throwing stuff out there, but two P's in a pod literally equals the founder of Ripple XRP, David Swords, in almost all ciphers. That's weird. Well. First of all, I just talked about XRP, right? Ripple, and Ripple has two P's, guys. Ripple, two P's. PP. Ah, I get it. PP. Ripple. The Ripple founder equals two P's in a pod. Okay. That's funny. Pietro Parolin could be the next pope. Peter Pan. Yeah, people are saying Peter Pan in the chat. PP is 1616. Revelation 16:16 is about Armageddon. Somebody says Pietro Parolin has the same gematria as. Yeah, big shout out to Jurassic Liars Garo on YouTube. He's always talking about the PP. Like this is all about. He always talks about that. But somebody's also saying that Pietro Parolin has the same gematria as Charles Windsor. Interesting. Let's see. I don't know why you're asking for my IQ because I honestly don't even know. I never took. I don't know. I have no idea even how you rate IQ. I know that there's a scale of IQ rating, but I have no idea about that. The Windsor family equals 201. Good one. Somebody says, I think this is I'm pretty sure that this Tobias Thorson, who's been giving me crap this stream, you're either a friend of Uncanny Deduction or you are Uncanny Deduction. We got Ball Don't Lie in the chat. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Ball Don't Lie. New channel on YouTube. Make sure you give him some love. He says the show about Pope Cardinals called Conclave was released 84 days before Pietro's birthday. Jesuit equals 84, yeah? Wow. Huh. Yeah, I mean, with Pietro being born 666 after Pope Francis, his name is Pi, like Pi eclipse, like the Pope died in connection to the Pi eclipse. He has the connection with the P. And this probably connects to Ripple too, you know? I'm just interested to see what happens 4 days after JB's death. That's your last chance to buy, which is JB 602, buy 602. And if this King Vale is listening to, or XRP Vale guy is listening to me, I mean, I'm sorry I called you an agent, man, if you're not really an agent, but it sure seems pretty interesting that your handle name equals Unveiling. And you're being followed by John Cena, who is born on the unveiling day of the year. And then again, why do you think the bull run with crypto started happening right when the Taurus, the bull happened and the Pope dies? And Kobe Bryant had been dead for 62 months and 26 days. And Pope Francis born 26 years and 62 days before Michael Jordan. And Jordan was 62-26 on the Pi Day. And Jordan was 62 years, 62 days old on Taurus, which was the last day the Pope was alive. So that we covered a lot in this stream, guys. We covered the unveiling with the Ripple XRP and the 404 revelation. We covered, the Kobe Bryant unveiling apocalypse, all that stuff. The 602, because the Pope died 602 prime days after his birth, after he became Pope. We also covered the possible candidates. For the next papacy, which could be Luis Tego, could be Petro Parolin. We covered Ripple, Grateful Dead. Yeah, we covered a lot here. I mean, but for all the XRP people that wait on decodes I know I have a lot of followers that like my decodes because of XRP, but this is one of my best XRP decodes ever and pretty undeniable. I mean, what's the chances XRP was started 40 weeks and 4 days before Pope Francis, which equals 404, became Pope, and Bishop of Rome equals XRP, and Antichrist, and St. Peter, and I mean, wow. All right, so, and I think that the news about the SEC, and another thing that happened in these, you know what happened the same day that the Pope died? And this is why I know this is connected to the financial system, guys. The same day the Pope died, we had Paul Atkins. Paul Atkins was sworn in as the new SEC chair. And remember, this whole Ripple XRP case started right around this Ripple video coming out, right around the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, right around the eclipse where they gave out the Vs, which was 404 weeks after the Pope became Pope on December 14, 2020. 3 days later, you had the Ripple video, okay? And then 4 days later, after that, you had the SEC suing Ripple, the XRP company, for securities. And now, when all this is coming to a head, the case is now over against XRP, and a new SEC head is now sworn in on office the same day the Pope dies. Guys, he's the 34th chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission. His name is Paul Atkins. Paul Atkins equals 34. He's the 34th chair. He equals John Cena. who literally just won the title right before this, he equals Francis. He equals that 34, which was a big number. So what are the chances of that? I mean, Paul Atkins sworn in on the day the Pope dies, and he equals Francis. He's the 34th SEC chair, and he equals John Cena, who won the championship right before that. So there you go. I mean, just more clues that this is connected to the SEC and XRP and the cases. Like, that's clear, man. This guy was a part of the Phi Beta Kappa. But also, what else was I gonna say? There's a huge thing going on with the rat. Okay, let me just cover this real fast. So J.D. Vance, who was the last person to see hold on. So the last person to see Pope Francis alive was a rat. Why is that? Because J.D. Vance is born in 1984. So J.D. Vance was born 182. Let me show you guys this. The rat year started on February 2nd, 1984. J.D. Vance was born on, J.D. Vance was born on August 2nd, 1984. So J.D. Vance was born 182 days after the rat year, the year of the rat started. Okay? Look at what year of the rat equals. So year of the rat equals 182, and J.D. Vance born 182 days into the year of the rat. Now, J.D. Vance, again, being the last, J.D. Vance, Pope Francis. J.D. Vance was the last person really to be with Pope Francis. He was wearing a yellow tie. Well, yellow can indicate two things, guys. It's got dual meaning. Yellow can indicate disease and decay. Think about it. When the leaves are decaying, they're going from green to yellow. So he was literally telling us that Pope Francis was in decay, right? With the yellow tie. Also, the yellow is like the color of the Vatican flag. And the yellow also, when people have like jaundice or something, they turn yellow. Remember, Michael Jordan was thought to have jaundice. But anyway, the yellow tie also could represent golden or hope. Remember, the Pope declared the Jubilee this year in the Pilgrims of Hope. So the yellow has dual meaning. It can mean hope or it can mean decay. So it's telling us two things here. It's telling us that we're in the year of the Jubilee, the hope year, and we're also also that the Pope was in decay. It can also mean the decaying of someone's character. So J.D. Vance being the rat, think about it. J.D. Vance, the rat, born 182 days after the rat year, and the year of the rat equals 182. Makes me think of Blink 182. But yeah, so who else was born in the year of the rat, guys? Let's see. Oh, look at that. Pope Francis, born 1936, the year of the rat. So these two characters, guys, are both rats. How about that? So you have a rat riddle going on with these two. And in fact, I think, doesn't Pope Francis in this picture look a bit like a mouse or a rat, the way his ears? I don't know, maybe a little bit. I mean, you can tell he was definitely sick, guys. I mean, unless this is just a costume, but probably is a costume. But and don't forget, JD Vance wears he wears freaking makeup. I mean, he clearly wears eyeliner or whatever that's called. But yeah, they're both rats. And if you look up the year of the rat, it actually mentions the history of the year of the rat actually connects to the Yellow Emperor. Look at this. It says right here, in Chinese tradition, the first year was equivalent to 2637. The prime minister of the first emperor, Huangdi, also known as the Yellow Emperor. So what's that? What's the chance of that, guys? The Yellow Emperor connects to the year of the rat, and J.D. Vance was wearing a yellow tie, and he's born in the year of the rat, like Pope Francis. And what do you think Yellow Emperor equals? Whoops. Yellow Emperor equals 182, guys. Wow. Look at it. Oh, Peter Turkson equals 182. Huh. That's one of the candidates. But yeah, year of the rat, 182. J.D. Vance born 182 after the year of the rat. He was wearing a yellow tie. The year of the rat connects to the Yellow Emperor, and Yellow Emperor equals 182. So what's the chance of that? Yellow Emperor 182, year of the rat. And this is all happening in the year of the snake. Pope Francis, let's talk about the year of the snake. Pope Francis dies in the year of the snake. He became a priest in the year of the snake. He became pope in the year of the snake. So there's something going on. If anyone in the chat knows anything about, is there a movie called Turk 182? Really? But if anyone in the chat knows anything about Chinese astrology, please let me know, because there's something going on with the rat and the snake. But yeah, there's a movie called Turk 182. There is a movie called Turk 182. Wow. Huh. How odd. Here I am talking about Turkson. Peter Turkson equals 182. I mean, if this guy ends up being, he only has 8% odds or 7% odds right now. But if he ends up somehow stealing this and becoming the first black pope, that would be wild. But there's definitely more for Pietro Parolin, in my opinion. I think there's also more for Louise Tegel. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do something crazy. They could. But I don't know what's going on with this movie. February 15, 1985. That's interesting. Hold on. Let me see something here. Well, look at that, guys. Remember, J.D. Vance was born 182 days after the year of the rat. And then the movie Turk 182 released 28 weeks and 1 day after J.D. Vance was born. That's the reverse 182. And then this connects us with the candidate, Peter Turkson, who equals 182. Huh. Turk 182 strikes again. February 15th, 1985. Wait. Let me see. October 11th, 1948. Yeah, I don't see anything right there right away with this, but I mean, I'm going to look more into that because that doesn't seem to be a coincidence. All right, so let me jump in the chat for a few more minutes and then we're going to hang this up. Somebody's talking about star rats. What's that? Crown chakra equals 182? Yeah, it does. Okay. Good one. I'm just thinking of Blink 182, that band called Blink 182. Cody, since this is very significant to San Francisco, the current mayor of San Francisco was in his 17609 day when the Pope died, the 2025th prime. Wow. Good one. Wow. That's good. The San Francisco mayor was in his 17,609th day when the Pope died. That's the 2025th prime. Wow. Yeah, this is definitely connected to San Francisco. I'm probably going to have a whole video about the Golden Gate Bridge and the Pope Francis thing. I mean, that there's so many different angles here. Spatium Viator, hello. He says you're very well versed in Chinese. Yeah, I just don't know if what's going on with this rat thing and the snake, because the two rats, JD Vance and the Pope, both rats. The Rat Pack, yeah. Um, I can my handle is decoding Cody on Discord. Decoding Cody. No width. Like in my channel name is no width in there. It's just decoding Cody. If you guys want to find me. Tom DeLonge is a singer in Blink 182. For anyone who doesn't know, he's a Freemason and very into alien disclosure and demon summoning. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a connection with Tom. If this 182 thing is real. Yeah, this is right. The way you wrote it there, decoding Cody. Yeah. Um, Widow Sun says today, 2 days from now will be 17609 days after 2777. Wow, holy crap, man! I just talked about this number. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, the rat could be like Judas, right? That's a good one. I didn't even think about that until now. Rats like Judas rats out Jesus. Ah, there you go. Yeah, and Paul Heyman in wrestling, he did a very rat type thing. Yeah, that's great. That's a good connection there. Let's see. Yeah, the 182 is also like the 128 code, right? Just reversed. But don't forget, guys, why is the 267th Pope so important? Because the Golden Gate in the astrology is currently in the 266th degree or 267th degree. So this is all connected with the astrology Golden Gate. The next Pope, the bridge builder, the Golden Gate Bridge, right? The next Pope will be 267. This is the Philadelphia area code. I didn't even talk about this, but we need to talk about 267 because Philadelphia area code is also 267. So the next pope will be 267. In the Bible, it talks about the Church of Philadelphia in Revelation, right? So now we have the 267 pope, and this connects to the Golden Gate. Is the galactic center in 267th degree. Let me just ask ChatGPT because I think ChatGPT will answer this. I mean, this is a very important aspect of this. Big shout out to Casey Jones Astrology for making us aware of all this. So yeah, if you ask ChatGPT, is the galactic center, the Golden Gate galactic center, located at the 267th degree? It says yes. The galactic center is approximately. Well, it's saying it's 266, but I tell you, if you look on Stellarium, you will see that the galactic center is in the 267 degree of the ecliptic. And that means the next pope will be the 267 pope. And this aligns with this galactic center, which is in Sagittarius. And that's the Archer. And we just, the pope was a Sagittarius. So this is wrong. I don't think this is at two. Yeah, Bowman, like Sagittarius, right? Yeah, because JD Vance is the Bowman. He's the Sagittarius. And the galactic center, the Golden Gate galactic center, is at the 267 degree. He was the last person to see the 266 pope. Now, Philadelphia, in the book of Revelation, Philadelphia area code is 267. Kobe Bryant was from Philly, but the Philadelphia Warriors came from Philadelphia. So, or the Golden State Warriors, who now have the bridge on their clothing, they came from Philadelphia. So the 267 is so big, guys. You guys got to understand this 267 is one of the biggest numbers we got to watch for with this, because this connects to the Golden Gate. It connects to the astrology Golden Gate. It connects to Philadelphia and Kobe Bryant, the Church of Philadelphia. It connects to all that. And Sagittarius, again, the Archer, the Bowman, like JD Vance, the Bowman. But the galactic center is what some people call the Golden Gate galactic center. There's also the Golden Gate of the ecliptic too. The galactic center equals 121, like Revelation. But yeah, I think we're not going to go any more into that, but we'll see what happens, guys. I'm going to start wrapping this one up. Thank you guys so much for sticking around as usual. You guys are amazing. And I couldn't be more grateful for all the great people in here. And we're probably going to have more videos about the Pope, but my next video I think is going to be hopefully with Jurassic Liars. I think maybe tomorrow or the next day I'm going to try to get Jurassic on here. I'm going to get in touch with him. But if not, because I'm getting ready to travel back to Germany, guys. So, Ratzinger, yeah. Oh my goodness, thank you, Ratzinger. The last pope literally had the rat in his name. Yes. See, you guys are so smart. Now I got to keep going with this because this is big. Joseph Ratzinger. That's not the one I want. Hold on. I want Pope Benedict. Yeah, Pope Benedict's name was Ratzinger. The guy who died before Pope Francis was Ratzinger. And then the rat kills the rat. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Good one. So J.D. Vance, the rat, kills the rat, Pope Francis, after the last pope was Ratzinger. I mean, come on. Of all names you could have, you just happen to have the name Ratzinger. Like, it's funny, man. That is a great catch. Snake eat rats. Yeah, exactly. Snakes eat rats. So the snake ate the rat this year. That's what it is, guys. I mean, it's so clear now. But what about JD Vance? Is JD Vance going to get taken out this year too? Because he's also a rat. But yeah, this is huge, man. This is why the two rats were the last two people to be together, and the snakes eat the rats in the year of the snake. And the last pope was named Ratzinger. It's just so crazy. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Whoever that was in the chat, who said that? Because that person deserves a shout out. Was that Sky Girl? Yeah, it was Sky Girl. Thank you, Sky Girl. That was amazing. Amazing catch. I'm sitting here talking about a rat the whole time, and then you just nailed it. I mean, I should probably put out a whole decode on that. That's like so clear, man. The rats and then the snakes eating the rats and the Ratzinger. I mean, this is wild. That's a good one. You don't even need numbers for that. Look at his name, guys. 113. Joseph Alois Ratzinger. 113. Like Apocalypse. Wait, how many days was it after he died? Sorry, I know I said I was going to end this, but you can't end it on this note. Oh, that's right. Ratzinger died 2 years, 3 months, and 22 days before Pope Francis. That's right. 843 days. Yeah, so I wonder how Ratzinger was born. Yeah, I don't know. I should probably just let's just see what Ratzinger equals. So Ratzinger equals 125. Pope died 125 days after his birthday. Well, I mean, I need to look what rat equals. So rat equals yeah, that's interesting. Look at that. Rat almost equals 182 in Jewish. So, I was talking about the 182s. Rat equals 181. If you use the rule of Colel, you get the 182 there, but tomorrow is the anniversary, guys, of Trump touching the Western Wall. So that's something to look for. Trump touches Western Wall. Tomorrow is the anniversary of this. I just remembered that. 4/24 was the day that Trump touched the wall. My girlfriend says that Ratzinger comes from Regensburg, which equals end of the world in multiple ciphers. The bowman delivers the arrows. Yep. The shots. Snakes eat rats is 804, huh? Plane crash recently in Boca Raton, mouth of the rat. Really? Make sure you guys go subscribe to 7-1. Good connection there. Rat stinger equals 440 in satanic. Yeah. Yeah, they're saying that Vance could. The theory is some people are speculating that Vance poisoned him, but I don't know. Yeah, Cosmic Butch says Pope Petro Parolin, PPP. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up now. Thank you guys so much for additions that made this stream even better. Go back and watch this whole stream if you just got in, because there's so many good things in here. We went through so many different things. We got so much out in this decode. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon again in the next couple days with another decode. And as always, if you want to support the channel, please hit the like button on the way out. And I got a link at the top. Buy me a coffee if you guys feel like supporting the channel on my travels. Always appreciated. Buy me a coffee at the top. Hit the like button, and I thank you guys so much and appreciate you all. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.